Hello, my lovelies. This is going to be your weekly shadow work. So we're going to start with the side we keep hidden, our shadow self. What do we need to know? What's hidden that we need to be aware of? Ooh, the Hierophant. Okay. So I do feel like for some of you, you really need to actually focus on getting tapped into your intuition. The Hierophant is a card of ascension. It's a card of marriage and commitment. And when it's in the shadow, it's something that tells us we're going to start to break away from tradition. So I feel like you're going to be doing things a totally different way. Maybe that's your spiritual beliefs, your religious beliefs. Maybe you go from atheist to something else. Maybe it's vice versa. Maybe you went from a non-believer to a believer in something. But I feel like Spirit is trying to show you the bigger picture and enlighten you that there is something that's changing or needs to change in your life. And the Hierophant tells us that part of that could have to do with our spirituality, or it could have to do with higher learning. It's also a card of sharing knowledge with people. And I feel like it's also a card of ascension. So you might be mastering some lessons, going towards something that's much better suited for you. The 10 of Coins in the shadow tells us that we may have made some really poor choices, especially financially. Some of those might have been, in our control, and some of those could have been out of our control, but we are kind of in this negative mindset. The Sun in the shadow tells us that it's dark and gloomy there. We could be dealing with some seasonal depression. Hopefully those are starting to lessen as we move towards spring. But the Sun tells us that we may have lost hope that things need to change for the better. Maybe we don't see a way out just yet. So we might want to take some time for ourselves, right? Rest, recharge. There could also be this big imbalance in a union here. The Hierophant, the Sun, the Four of Wands, all of those indicate there could be some trouble in a long-standing commitment, marriage, relationship. So we want to take into account that. All right, the stars in the reverse or in the shadow. So this definitely tells us that we're in this very heavy negative mindset, right? So normally the star would be a wish fulfillment, but in the shadow, it's like you've lost hope that things are possible to change. So maybe you're kind of settling when you shouldn't be. The Knight of Wands, again, maybe we're dealing with someone who's arrogant, who's a player, somebody who really doesn't have our best interests at heart. And the Hermit in the shadow tells us that we need some time alone. We need some inner reflection to figure these things out. The full moon on the 14th of March is in the sign of Virgo. So wherever Virgo is in your birth chart could tell you what house is being affected the most. Where do you need the most inner work, the most growth, and the most time to kind of reflect on what needs to change? The Queen of Wands in the shadow, she's kind of in this really negative mindset, but she's also lacking her confidence. She's normally very independent. She's a master manifester. Again, something has changed to knock your confidence. So what happened? For some of you, I feel like you aren't pouring into yourself. Temperance is all about balance. Something is majorly off balance here. Is it you? Is it your circumstances around you? Is it being manipulated by other people? Situations, financially, things don't look great. Like, this is a really heavy energy here. So we've got to learn to change things because the world tells us we're going through a lot of delays. Something needs to end here, but the cycle is not closed yet. So the world normally would indicate travel and forward progress, but I feel like you're feeling extremely stuck right now. So confusion, I feel like the confusion will also start to lessen. You'll start to gain some clarity, but I also feel like you need to change either where you are, where you live, circumstances around you, and that Spirit's trying to nudge you out of this negative, heavy energy. The Seven of Swords in the shadow tells us that if there's any sort of deceit, deception, lies, manipulation, or untrustworthy people, this will be illuminated. We're going into eclipse season, which is very revealing of what's not working. So pay attention to those things. The Hanged Man, you're choosing to set yourself free. It's a choice. Once you see the deception for what it is, I feel like it'll be an easy choice to let go. And the 10 of Wands. So we are closing out a very difficult chapter. The Ten of Wands in the shadow is an indication that you've made a decision that you no longer wish to carry this heavy burden, so you are choosing to set yourself free. What do we need to do to integrate or to find the balance this week? Show them what they need to see. Judgment, yep. So Spirit is trying to actually help you, and they are kind of gonna maybe burn things to the ground, so to speak, in order to transform or give you a rebirth. I do feel like for some of you, you are going to travel, move, or relocate away from conflict and chaos, right? You need peace so that you can actually rest because you're burnt out and exhausted. You also have a new love opportunity that's coming in. Yep, it's unexpected. You don't see it coming, but Judgment being out here and hiccups for confirmation, I feel like this is divine intervention. When and how you meet this person, and it's coming in quickly. I feel like once you kind of give Spirit the green light that you're done with a certain situation or relationship, that's when this person comes in. Could be a fire sign, a Cancer, a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I do feel like this person is coming in kind of guns blazing. They want to offer you the balance. They want to pour into you. They want to work well together and collaborate. So trust your instincts and intuition on this. If something doesn't feel right, then don't do it. Pay attention to what Spirit is trying to guide you to do. But I feel like this is going to change things for the better if you're open to it. This person could have manifested you or vice versa. I do feel like it is a manifestation that's coming in for some of you, but you're going to overthink it initially because you're still working on you. You're healing, right? You're trying to change things for the better. But the Wheel of Fortune tells us that this is destined, right? We have Judgment as well, telling us that things are aligning because they need to get the ball rolling or the wheel rolling in your favor, right? So the Wheel of Fortune can turn in your favor or it can turn against you. You always want it to be spinning in your favor. This person might be the person that you really need. The King of Cups I call the ideal father figure. He's nurturing, romantic, empathetic, he's trustworthy, he's loyal. You won't have to deal with liars, cheaters, thieves, manipulators. And the Moon tells us that any sort of illusion is being revealed. So you can take a leap of faith. We have a lot of Aries energy coming in, the Fool, the Magician. All of those definitely would indicate that you're dealing with somebody with heavy fire in their chart. I do feel like you're going to have to make a choice of where you want to go. What is the next step in your journey? So which path do you take? You're going to be faced with a decision or a fork in the road. For some of you, you have to first walk away from this previous existing relationship that isn't working in your favor, right? You've exhausted all options. Have you though? Because Spirit's telling me somebody hasn't. They're like ready to throw in the towel and they haven't really tried everything they could to save something, but there is collateral damage for some of you. So if you really haven't tried everything, do that first. But if there is no hope of anything changing for the better, walk away. Save yourself. The Knight of Coins definitely tells us we're going towards something new. An unexpected visitor could arrive at your door. The Knight of Coins is also about moving to greener pastures. So abundance is coming towards you. Travel, movement, relocation could be for work, leading to abundance. Okay, so this is a good thing. Work might be picking up for you. The Knight of Swords is rushing in quickly. This could be a wish fulfillment that you may have manifested, but you have to first face your fears in the cosmic mirror, and then you have to follow your intuition instead of fear. So is it worth your time? Of course it is. You're going towards something that's so much better if you leave the negative crap behind you. So is the juice worth the squeeze? You are due a victory. So I feel like you're going to be very shocked. I do think you're going to be dealing with something or someone from the past, but it does look like it leads to a happily ever after. So we're going towards a period of recovery, financially or otherwise. The Hanged Man tells us we hold the key to set ourselves free, and abundance awaits you. So you have some decisions to make this week. Love, abundance, new jobs, travel, movement, relocation. Where will you take the first step? Be willing to trust your instincts and intuition and do the shadow work. It matters this time. Have a great week.